have a passion for life and people, and I believe that everyone has a story to tell. Join me as I venture into real-life stories, real-life issues. My name is Julie Albert. What's your story?
1 to 3 days by air shipment. We can also be captured by flying foxes. Mag-GL na! Welcome aboard!
Kamusta po? And welcome to another episode of the Joey Albert Show. Tuloy-tuloy po ang pagsusuri namin ng mga everyday heroes dito sa Vancouver. At ang ating guest ngayon ay isa pang batang-batang everyday hero. Isa po siyang estudyante ng UBC o University of British Columbia na nagsimula ng isang grupong tinatawag na Enspire. Makakausap natin siya mamaya. At for lifestyle naman po. Kung naaalala ba niyo sa Pilipinas, kung yung mga binibilihan ninyo na mga 10 pisong menudo at saka coke na nasa supot, well, meron ng ganun dito ngayon sa Vancouver. Ang tinatawag nilang street carts is now here in the whole North America. Makikita natin ang kabuhayan ng pagkaing street carts sa ating episode ngayon. Magbabalik ang Joey Albert Show matapos ang ilang sandali. Talaga tayo maubusan ng mga superheroes, ang mga everyday heroes na ating nakikilala dito sa Vancouver. Some of them have grown up here and some of them have come from the Philippines. Pero saan man sila galing, ang pinakamahalaga ay ang kanilang puso at ang kanilang desire na makatulong. Ang ating makikilala ngayon ay isang former student ng University of British Columbia. Ating pong makikilala ngayon si Dennis Cojuco. Dennis, hi. Thank you very much for coming to our... Should I say that right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for coming to our show. Now, tell us about Enspire. Enspire is spelled with an E, no?
Yes, it's actually spelled with an E because our mission was to empower, encourage, and educate individuals to help themselves and others. That's why we've chosen to spell it with an E.
To change it with the E.
Yes.
So to encourage...
empower and educate.
Empower and educate.
The 3 E's.
The 3 E's. So, how has Enspire encouraged? Okay, let's go that. How did Enspire start?
We've actually started soup kitchens working with, while we were running student associations at UBC. So one of them is the Filipino Student Association.
Okay.
We started the soup kitchen, and then the other one is called UBC One. So from the Filipino Student Association, we met. I met Mark and Lori, and then from UBC One is Craig and Andrew, who are all founders of Enspire. At FSA, we started soup kitchens, and that's somewhat the start of our involvement with the community.
Yeah, but there's this parang ting, because from my experience, work like this, it just comes so spontaneously, but it's just parang ting, let's do it. Okay, so what was that ting? Was it during the soup kitchen, realizing, hey, why are we helping these people? Let's do it from back home. So what was that moment? What was that?
That moment for me was because I grew up partly in the Philippines. Half my life was there. I was seeing every day the poverty.
You grew up in Bulacan.
In Bulacan.
I mean, not exactly Forbes Park, right? So you grew up
in Valenzuela. So we commute. I went to school in Quezon City. So I was constantly aware of the surroundings, my environment. And after moving to Vancouver, that's when I realized how fortunate and lucky I am to actually be able to come here and go to school. So that to me was a very strong trigger to help and give back sa Philippines.
And maybe seeing the poor here reminded you of the ones you grew up with back home, right? And there must also be a very strong sense of nationalism in you to be able to want to do this for them.
I'm a very strong, I guess, advocate of the Philippines, supporting our Philippine products. After moving here, hindi ko talaga na-realize na, I miss Kusina, I miss this. So again, it's the constant longing to somehow be part of the Philippines.
How ironic it is now that you just mentioned it, I think I'm only figuring it out now that for some people, you have to miss something so bad to want to go back to it, or you have to be torn away from something in order to want to belong back to it, no? So maybe that was also, that emotion sort of played into what became your desire now. To give back is really a desire for you to reconnect.
Yes.
Would you say that?
Yeah, it's partly, yes. And also because knowing Mark, who's another co-founder of Enspire, his story was his parents used to be gas attendant, like his dad.
Like pump boy,
Exactly,
ganon,
yes.
sa gas station?
Yes.
O, tapos?
And they've worked really hard to kind of get to where they are right now. So that, I think, is a part of him wanting to give back.
Where are they right now?
Mark is now based in the Philippines, and he's helping run their family business, which is in the oil industry.
The family business, they have their own oil family business
Yes,
now?
yes,
Also from yung parents niya from Gas Boy
exactly.
and
Now
built
they-
his own company.
Yes.
So poverty was not, he was not a stranger to poverty either.
No.
And you also said that neither was your family.
Yes, my grandparents, from my dad's side, when they moved to the Philippines from China, my grandpa was used to carry sacks of rice.
Cargador.
Yes.
A lot of them.
Rice, yung lumber, because he used to work for a lumber also in Bulacan. And that's how they started. So they've really experienced from having nothing to, I guess, being part of middle class or upper middle class.
So what course of action do you take? What are the steps you take? Where do you begin? Where do you even, saan ka mag-umpisa? Sa dinami-dami ng mahihirap sa Pilipinas, nag-iisa ka lang o lilima lang kayo sa Enspire. Saan kayo magsisimula?
We've actually encountered this question so many times until one day, I guess it's another spark, it's another trigger.
Another moment.
No, we should start from the environment, the place,
Habitat.
the primary place where
Yung community.
exactly is to help improve that. Because with the improvement of their living conditions there's more to life than
It comes improvement of their attitude, their
the-
thinking.
exactly their approach to life, their
approach to
views of life.
The perspective changes, no? If their habitat changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess, one part of the encouraging
Encouraging.
of our mission. The other part is education. It's hard the old saying, it's hard to teach old dogs new tricks. So one approach that we've taken is to actually start with education of the kids.
Why the kids?
Because they're less influenced by the current, I guess, attitude or approach. So there's hope sa mga bata. We teach them early, para they don't repeat in
the mistakes of their fathers.
Exactly.
Say it, don't be afraid. But it's true.
Yes.
It's true. They have no biases. Wala silang pinipili. Hindi pa sila marunong pumili. Hindi pa sila, hindi pa nakokontrol na the brainwash. So, at saka pwede pang baguhin yung direction o yung vision nila, right?
So we've actually,
So that's why you have that library.
yes, we went to the Philippines in May of 2006, where we built the library within that area that we're helping, the community sa Narsagaray. And actually, after the library was built, we've received constant updates from our partner Foundations Philippines na even indigenous kids called Dumagats around that area, they've started visiting the library. Sometimes they would even line up before it even opens. So
The thirst for knowledge,
yes,
grabe, no?
yeah. So that's one way for us, I guess, to touch on the educate piece of.
And now that you're seeing the thirst and the hunger for education, especially by the children, you were saying something about a daycare?
Daycare, yes. Sa Navotas, our partner foundation works around Navotas. We've, I guess, helped fund yung operational nila, yung cost ng daycare nila. Again, it's another place for the kids to learn rather than,
Why? What is the situation of the children in these provinces? Hindi ba may mga public school naman para sa mga bata? Ano bang sitwasyon? Or kulang na kulang ba talaga? Ano bang reality doon ng mga kabataan?
I guess one is kulang. Second is what we come to see is because everybody needs to help for the family to survive. Instead of going to school, yung mga bata are forced to help
Get a job.
Or just to bring income into the family so they could eat. One of them is, I guess, the basic literacy or lack thereof. Talagang wala. So,
Do you have any statistics? Ano na ba ang rates of literacy ngayon sa Manila, sa Philippines, in the provinces? I don't.
I am not 100% sure, so
But it's really bad.
It's really high.
It's really high na. So talagang no read, no write na talaga yung iba.
Yes.
Also because of the overpopulation siguro.
And then, I guess to address we've been approached recently if we could help also with the funding or building of schools.
And providing teachers salaries, I guess.
Yes.
Kasama na yun
yeah.
doon, right?
I guess it's part of one of my long-term goals, and one of Enspire's long-term goals is to have that.
To see a school built.
Daddy can't even look me in the eye. Oh, if I was in their shoes, I'd be doing the same thing. Say, there goes my little girl, walking with that troublesome guy. But they're just afraid of something they can't understand. Little darling, watch me change their minds. Yeah, for you I'll try. I'll pick up these broken pieces till I'm bleeding. That'll make it right. 'Cause there'll be no sunlight if I lose you, baby. There'll be no clear skies if I lose you, baby. Just like the clouds, my eyes will do the same. If you walk away, every day it'll rain.
So we have the encouragement, the education and all the education plans. And all these plans are good, but without people to make them take off, it doesn't take off, right? So now comes the empowerment.
Yes.
So how do you get that? How do you go about the empowerment part of your plan?
We actually found that it's twofold. We first, I guess it's really not first or second, but one of the ways that we empower is the projects that we do in the Philippines, we actually send volunteers from
here.
Back to the Philippines.
And they're the ones who built the library. They're actually volunteers from here?
Yes.
Ano, your friend, mga kaibigan nyo din, mga kakilala nyo?
Yes, we actually have a variety of people, of volunteers. We visit UBC, SFU, Capilano. We sent one group of UBC, a mix of UBC and SFU students in May of 2009.
Really?
To help construct two of the houses
Really?
in Bulacan.
Wow.
And then the other is actually them interacting directly with the families that we're helping. So we've now started to empower the people that we're helping by showing to them that there's people that care, there's people that want to give back and help.
And how does that empower them? I mean, so when they realize that there's people outside their little world that care, how does that empower them?
It gives them back hope na we could actually make a difference, or we can change.
And maybe helps them to help themselves, helps them to want to help themselves, right?
So it's actually not one way.
A cycle
I see
talaga.
it's a cycle.
Cycle of blessings talaga
Exactly,
siya.
yeah.
Or else parang ripple effect. No? Bagsakan mo ng bato, tapos, diba? Tapos lalaki yan eh. Lalaki yan. But the empowerment, now the problem with things like this, one of the problems is always sustainability. So, how do you address? Paano nyo na-address yung problem of sustainability?
Actually, that's a very good question. Our partner foundation called Pag-aalay sa Puso Foundation, which is based...
Pag-aalay sa Puso Foundation, it's
PPF.
based in the Philippines.
Yeah, in Navotas. They've been working with that community that we're helping, I think, for over 20 years now. And a part of the plan when they move to Norsagaray is to address sustainability. So they're going to have mga livelihood programs or agriculture. So everybody is actually contributing.
Ano pa yung mga ibang problema o hadlang na nararanasan mo sa trabahong ganito, sa paggagawa ng kawang-gawa sa Pilipinas? I mean, it all sounds like a nice, euphoric dream. Wow, we're gonna build Enspire and then we're gonna change Bulacan. But sometimes hindi mo nakikita yung mga lubak along the way. May naranasan ka bang mga lubak? Ano yung mga lubak o hadlang na naranasan mo?
Madami po. One of them is, I guess there's this perception na if you donate money, is it really going to the people who it's destined to go? And one way for us to address that is actually because we build houses, we build libraries. It is tangible. So it is there.
Nakikita mo yung,
pinupuntahan ng donation. I think there's a stigma sa Philippines na it doesn't go anywhere, yung mga donation. So it's that's a big hurdle.
A lot of the donors here in North America, yun ang takot nila.
So that's one way of us addressing it. The other is because we're all young professionals still. One of my thoughts is I cannot help others without helping myself first. So
that's a good point.
I guess the career here can sometimes be a hurdle. But knowing that, we're actually changing the lives of not a mass of people, but
just one.
Maybe one at a time.
One barangay at a time.
Yeah.
One village at a time.
It's actually helping a lot na we continue to pursue in our work.
So when you do have children, gusto mo ganon din. Siyempre, gusto mo ganyan din na ganyan din ang gagawin nila. They'll continue Enspire.
Sana po.
But you see, dito na yan siguro lalaki yung mga anak mo. Ikaw, nakita mo yung hirap sa Bulacan. Sinigurado ng mga magulang mo na alam mo yung hirap ng grandfather mo, nagbubuhat ng sako, nagbubuhat ng kahoy. they made sure alam mo ang pinanggalingan mo. And I think that's sort of, pati mga experience mo, those are the things that molded you into what you have become now, founder of Enspire, a group that encourages, empowers, and educates. But your child is going to grow up here in Canada with everything that she could possibly hope for. Maybe more than you had. Minsan, ang mga magulang nagkakamali, binibigay sa mga anak ang hindi nila nakamit. And that's not always good. How are you going to ensure that your child will have this same Enspire heart?
I think it'll be tougher kasi it's not first-hand information like what I received from my grandparents or the stories that they've told me. But one way is to actually bring them back to where I guess I was born or where I grew up, and let them experience themselves and see it for themselves, kung what life is like. Hopefully by that time things will have improved in the Philippines. But that's one way, because I strongly believe na if you see it, you smell it, you touch it, the impact is so much more than just hearing. Because I could tell them stories, but pwede rin lang isipin na you're just making that up. But if I bring them there,
then they can see
then
it
they
for
can see it.
themselves firsthand. That's true. You know, I did make a difference nung inuwi ko yung mga anak ko sa Gahod Kalinga village. I think that did something to them also. It was life-changing. Napakahirap talaga kasi, like, so it's true talaga, I think, no? Pag hindi mo alam yung pinanggalingan mo, mahirap i-decide kung saan ka pupunta sa buhay. It determines talaga yung paroroonan mo, yung pinanggalingan mo. And it's true. It's true. So, thank you so much for giving us this time. And before we go, what would your message be for the younger Filipinos that are here in Canada?
I think one is don't forget kung, like you said, kung saan kayo nanggaling. We all have dreams. I think, like I said, everything is possible. Don't give up. There will be a lot of hurdles in the 12 years that we've been in existence. We've seen quite a lot. And I'm happy to say that it never stopped us from continuing what we've done. So just persistence. And I know that if you're doing something good, it always works out in the end, regardless of
how dark it seems. The tunnel seems.
We've experienced it, and we know that it works. And I know kahit isang tao na matulungan ko ngayon, the hope is it'll propagate.
One person at a time.
One person at a time.
Ganon talaga, no?
Yeah.
So it will take a generation, but you're right.
Yeah. And even from one of the symposiums that we've been to, hosted by SFU, it's really the grassroots, the smaller, yung talagang they go deep into the communities that they're helping are the ones that are really affecting or making an impact. So hopefully we could continue to do this.
And it's what you don't see kasi on TV. That's why you don't know if it's working, di ba? Kasi it's so personal, hindi mo nakikita sa TV, walang press release.
Yeah.
Pero yun siguro talaga yung mas effective. Maraming salamat, Dennis, for inspiring us and yung Enspire inspired.
Thank you.
And sana maraming Pilipinong sumunod sa iyo at bumalik sa Pilipinas at tumulong din. Thank you very much, Dennis.
Thank you, Pa.
Napaka-inspiring po ng ating panauhin. Sana po ang kabataan natin ay instead na ikahiya at talikuran ng ating bayan, ay harapin ng bukas ang kamay at bukas ang puso ang ating mga kababayan na nangangailangan pa. Maraming salamat kay Dennis. Magbabalik ang Joey Albert Show matapos ang ilang saglit.
Since time immemorial pa, Uso ang street carts sa Pilipinas. Mga jeep na pumaparada sa tapat ng mga opisina kapag tanghali na may instant kusina at kung saan iniinit ang mga ulam at kanin. 10 piso isang plastic ang ulam at 5 naman ang kanin. Yun nga lang, hindi super designer street cart na katulad ng nauuso dito ngayon sa Vancouver na super ganda. Vancouver was always known to have the best multiculturally diverse food, and lately, that's been taken to the streets. Literally. Although wala pa kaming nakikitang Filipino food cart dito sa Vancouver, meron akong nahuling isang food cart during one of my trips abroad. Ito ay ang Curbside Cravings, isang Filipino food cart sa Los Angeles, California.
And look at this! What do you call this? It's curbside cravings?
It's called curbside cravings.
And?
And what is very popular with the truck is actually a tocino taco burger.
Maraming salamat, Curbside Cravings. And if you're ever in LA, make sure you check out their weekly schedules at curbsidecravings.com.
Ang sarap ano ho? Hanapin po natin lahat yung mga jeep na yan. Ay, street carts. Maraming salamat sa ating mga panauhin, lalo na kay Dennis sa kanyang pag-inspire sa atin through Enspire. Katulad ng sinabi niya, ang kabataan or the children are the hope of tomorrow. But I say to Dennis, people like you are the hope of tomorrow. Sana dumami ang mga kabataan na katulad niya na nagmamahal sa ating bayan at gagawin ang lahat upang palitan ang kung anumang kahirapan ang umiiral pa sa ating bayan, maging malayo man o malapit. Kulang naman po ang ating oras, kaya kulang man sa atin itong sandali. Alam ko na tayo'y magkikita muli. Kaya hanggang sa ating muling pagkikita, si Joey Albert po.